Okay, so that's what's causing the problem. Okay, not doing that. Hey, good to know. Oh, the Android emulator and the uh the screen thing does not play nice together. So phone it is. What was the mission this week? Arc. It is Arc.
Live, not in part from Vancouver, British Columbia, as Vancouver this year was virtual, but still enjoyable experience.
Okay.
It's, I would like to, I would like to, I would like to welcome whatever stragglers decided not, whatever stragglers decided not to hang around for the entirety of the virtual concert, virtual concert to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. group group friends to which I have the business talking with Steve Elder recent.
I'm gonna use the mouse. Yeah, it's definitely been a week. That's for sure. Yeah, I tried again to turn my old laptop into an external monitor and keep using the case, but I've since given up on it, at least with this model, because it's a rare screen type where the connector is at the top. And it's like the extension cable I thought would work was too small width-wise, not lengthwise. Like cable did not even fit in. So I ended up returning that stuff. But I did actually get a few other things in. Actually started to hack into my PS3 to that way I can install all my disc games onto the hard drive. Long story short, whenever I do get around to playing Sonic 06, it'll help reduce the load times. But yeah, and to help with that, I got myself a 1 terabyte laptop hard drive to upgrade from the 180, I think it's like 150, 180 gig. Also picked up the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection. And I have a new mouse that should show up around Wednesday. Because, yeah, my current one has this double clicking issue, and yeah, not good for gaming. Uh, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I also tried the new Mountain Dew Major Melon flavor. That was okay. I actually did a video of it that should be going up, uh, maybe not next week, but probably the following week. Also, next week, I need to start recording new game videos because after this week, I am out. But yeah, on the and actually on the extra screen bit, I used to have one of the TVs on my laptop table, all acting to be the second monitor. I have since replaced it with my Nook. I mean, yeah, it's smaller, but at least it's not taking up the entire desk space. Also, the touchscreen still works. So, yay! If I wanted to, I could do art on my computer with it. But yeah, that's basically been my week.
A year ago, a year that turns hectic. A year that turns hectic goes by. A year that turns hectic goes by, and with it comes with it you sort with it you almost forget you had registered for a convention. Thankfully, was able to switch to Spirit Badge, where which was appropriate given how they were virtual this year without any extra charge. So
Yeah,
yeah, thankfully that was an option. Aside from well, I sort of ended up I sort of ended up having to ju- juggle my home schedule along with the things they were streaming. So that was a bit that was a bit hectic. Thankfully, was able to was able to manage. So
okay.
with throughout the next week, throughout the next week, I should be able to relax a bit more.
Yeah. I didn't actually have work this week, but then again, apparently, like the week after the holidays, it's usually quiet. But I'm probably going to be working at least one day next week because Friday is the carnivore dinner. And it's like, okay, we got one of the special nights, so it's like, yeah, that'll probably as packed as they can be. Also decided to switch up how I'm thinking about like my laptop upgrade, because basically the Consumer Electronics Show is on the 12th, which is today is the 9th, so on Tuesday. So they should be showing off the new tech that'll be premiering this year at that point. So yeah, I'll see what that how that turns out, and like, hey, wait till the new stuff comes out and get better stuff.
I imagine that's also going to be virtual.
Yeah. Uh,
In the meantime, second week, second week of Artman Month, in which
yep.
we watch one of the more well-known properties.
Yeah, actually, fun fact, I believe this is like the first time I've actually sat down and watched a Wallace and Gromit movie. Yeah, that's copied over. Okay, hold on. Okay, plug that in, and that there. Okay.
Well, they went by recommended precaution of watching the original shorts.
Yep. Oh right, I forgot about that. Uh, my mind's kind of been all over the place today. Not today, this week. That's how all over the place my mind has been. It's like, uh.
But given what you described, what happened throughout the week, I can kind of understand.
Also, I've been watching Awesome Games Done Quick. Yeah, it kind of caught me in the on one of my charity gaming marathon weeks. Okay, that's not. Can't make it that. Okay, so Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were Rabbit. So initial thoughts, not bad. It was interesting. Definitely caught my attention. Kept my attention a bit more than Chicken Run did.
I can definitely remember I can definitely remember a few DVD teasers and DVD teasers and a few other things. Although it took me quite a while to actually get around to watching it. I actually ended up hearing the soundtrack on YouTube several times on fan projects, some unrelated fan projects without some unrelated fan projects at first. Didn't quite know where those were. And then I then when actually watching the movie, I could manage to pick up on certain musical cues and things like that.
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, so the oh, it is warm in here. But if that's a PS3 or the laptop that's doing that. Eh. Anyway, so the area where Wallace and Gromit so I've been doing so much today, my brain's on overdrive right now. Okay, so the area where Wallace and Gromit live, Uh, not sure exactly where, but it's very British. Anyway, the that area is having a annual giant vegetable competition at Tuddington Hall with a golden carrot as a prize. And Wallace and Gromit run a humane pest control business, Antipesto. So here's the thing about Wallace. If you have never seen any of these, he's like, how should I put it? He's an inventor, makes all sorts of crazy things, but he's not quite all there. Anyway, like he made it so his bed drops him into a hole into his seat at the dining table with the mallet there in case he gets stuck, and has the machines put his shoes and clothes onto him, and that's just within the first couple minutes.
If you can remember the shorts like I do, you'll quickly catch on. So
Ooh,
carryover,
I just thought of a comparison.
carryovers.
Huh? What was that?
I was saying, if you remember the original shorts like I do, you'll catch on to a few carryovers.
Uh, I just thought out of like a character comparison. I forget the character's name, but Robin Williams' character in Flubber.
Brainerd.
Yes. That I, yeah, that's a decent comparison. Anyway, let me get the right tab up. So yeah, after capturing rabbits at Lady Tuddington's garden using basically a giant vacuum. Yeah, it's just a giant vacuum basically. Like vacuum into the hole, suck all the rabbits up. But yeah, they're at Lady Tuddington's garden and getting rabbits. So Lady Tuddington and there's this guy trying to get with her, Lord Victor Quartermain, and he's into hunting. Whereas Wallace and Gromit are into humane pest control. You can kind of begin to see like one of the main things of this movie coming like right there. But yeah, it's like yeah, he offers to get rid of the rabbits, but no, Lee Taunton, she called Wallace and Gromit because they're known around town for, you know, pest control. Like they provide all the like town security for their vegetables. But yeah, basically while they're sucking up the rabbits, it also sucks up Victor's toupee. And then Victor. Yeah, Victor does not like Wallace. But anyway, so after that all happens, Wallace has an idea. Using his latest invention, the mind manipulation, the mind manipulation-o-matic, he plans to use it to basically it's supposed to capture thoughts and stuff, and yeah, basically his plan is to use the thing plus the rabbit vacuum suck suck thoughts of, oh, vegetables are bad, and send those thought waves into the rabbits, and it starts working out pretty good until the switch gets kicked and it goes from suck to blow. So so suddenly, Rabbit is going to Wallace. This is bad. Like he's starting to hop around. It's like, stop! Gotta stop the machine. Like, and Gromit takes a wrench and shatters the mind manipulation nomadic. But thankfully it seems to have worked. The rabbits don't seem to be showing any interest in vegetables. So they take the rabbit that got sucked in, they name it Hutch, and put him in a cage. So that not a giant beast rampages through on devouring many of the vegetables. So of course they hold a town meeting. Like they're kind of upset with Wallace. Like, hey, your stuff didn't protect our vegetables. And it's like, huh. And
Not to mention you didn't respond. Not to mention you didn't respond to the alarm calls.
yeah. Ugh. But yeah, so the vicar's like, ah, like it's a were rabbit. Yeah. And Victor offers to shoot the were rabbit, but Lady Tottenham's like, no, 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 no. Wallace, he's got this. He's still good. The others are skeptical, like asked what his big plan is, and he's thought like a big trap. Brilliant. It's like, wow. So yeah, so that night they attempt to track the were rabbit, and well, Wallace walks off somewhere, and Gromit is stuck in the van, and basically, oh hey, the were rabbit, and he chases after it in the car because of course the dog can drive, and yeah, even get and basically the van has a lasso system built into it because of course. Yeah, like so the van lassos the were rabbit. It's not quite strong enough. It doesn't snap, but it drags the van along, even going into a hole, in a giant hole in the ground. And yeah, that goes on for basically the rest of the night. And at the they finally yeah, Gromit finally ends up at the other end of the hole, and it's back at their place. So he gets in there, and Wallace is on the phone, and he is very upset with Gromit for running off like that. It's like, dude, you're the he was honking trying to get your attention. You're the one who walked off. But Gromit notices the footprints going towards the basement where they stored the rabbits, and yeah, they have a pretty good idea that that rabbit Hutch might be the were rabbit. So Gromit locks him up into a high security cage, very heavy duty. But yeah, so how should I put it? So Wallace is off doing his own thing, and Gromit gets back out of the basement, closes the door, and notices that, wait, the footsteps, they didn't stop here, they continued onwards into Wallace's room. And on his bed is a whole bunch of vegetables. Whoops. Wallace went to Lady Tottenham's place because, like, oh yeah, we captured the were-rabbit. And he definitely thinks he did. But yeah, he's at her place, and she shows him the her secret garden, including which includes her giant carrot. And yeah, well, not Wallace, Gromit. Gromit drives over to the place and like tries to get Wallace's attention, eventually turning on the sprinkler system. Also, Victor is also at the place, but not with them. And he's very angry at Wallace because he thinks he's trying to take take Lady Tottenham away from him. Which, I mean, he does kind of like her, so hey, not exactly wrong. But yeah, so after the water incident, they drive off, and yeah, I forget exactly what. I wasn't paying attention at the time, but apparently there was a tree in the middle of the road, so they're stuck. And yeah, Victor followed them. As he's getting all up in Wallace's face, like, like, hey, I'm trying to get with her, knock that off. And yeah, it's getting pretty late, and the moon's coming up, and yeah, Wallace transforms. And yeah, so Victor knows that Wallace is the were-rabbit, and yeah, tries to get Gromit lures Wallace home to keep him safe. So while he's doing that, Victor goes to that vicar and asks how you deal with a were-rabbit. With a bullet. But what kind of bullet? A gold bullet. 24 karat. At which point, like, ugh. That was bad. So yeah, Victor now has three 24 karat gold bullets to use against the were-rabbit. So the next morning, it is the day of the vegetable competition. Gromit convinces Wallace that he is indeed the were-rabbit. It took a bit of convincing, because at this point he has like the fluffy rabbit ears growing out of him. It's like, at first he's like, oh, it's that diet. Yeah, Gromit actually has Wallace on a vegetable diet right now. It's like, oh, it's those impurities flowing out of me. It's like, no. It's like, yeah. So it's like, okay, crap, I'm the were-rabbit. What do now? But okay. So, have to fix the mind manipulation o to fix the problem. However, Lady Tottenham shows up, and it's getting kind of late, and she tells him about Victor's plan. This is bad. And yeah, the moon is rising, he's beginning to transform. So it's like, yeah, sure. Can't talk, no, bye. And so she leaves. And Victor was watching this. and he's there to shoot Wallace. So, back before they knew who the were was, during the first attempt, they actually had this elaborate were-rabbit costume to try to lure the were-rabbit out, and Gromit actually uses this to as a distraction to let Wallace escape. So like Victor sees this bouncing giant rabbit out in the distance and shoots. And the crowd at the vegetable competition hears this. It's like a moment of silence for whatever. It's like, yay, party, woo! So yeah.
Bit of a character.
Also, they learned that. Oh, now I remember how they figured out Wallace how Wallace came to the conclusion that he was the were-rabbit. They actually went down to the basement where they kept Hutch, and turns out he's becoming more like Wallace, clothes and everything, and a strong lack of cheese. That you were saying?
Bit of a character trait that was missed regarding Lady Tunnington, but she's a bit more sensitive to the life over death matter.
Yeah. Yeah, she was really the only one really sad about it. It's like she doesn't like things being killed. But yeah, after Victor shoots the costume and finds out that Gromit is inside it, he puts Gromit in one of the cages and goes off to finish the job. However, Gromit manages to get Hutch to help him get out of the cage, and they drive off to the oh, they drive off to the vegetable competition with okay, what's a marrow? Okay, okay, the thing that Gromit was growing for the competition, basically using it as bait to get Wallace to safety.
Must have been,
So
must be the British thing. Must be the British version you're looking at because I distinctly remember it I distinctly remember it being a melon.
yeah, I thought it was a melon, but I'm looking at the wiki.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at the vegetable thing, it's like, let us celebrate now that the were rabbit is gone and we can have our competition. And Victor is there. It's like, okay, keep an eye out for the were rabbit. Gonna shoot it this time. And people start crowding. They're like, hey, you got rid of the were rabbit. Woo! And it's like, ah, but he gets away from them and tells the uh, the cop basically there. It's like, okay, keep this quiet, but the were rabbit isn't actually dead yet, and he reacts to this in the megaphone. The were rabbit isn't dead yet, so everyone hears this. Oops. So they'll start panicking. So he gets their attention by shooting up into the air. Listen, I have two. I have one gold bullet left. I like that. Like, because of course he would have the second gold bullet loaded because he was, he had a spot prepped by the vet, so he could aim at the vegetables where the were rabbit would be. Like, okay, don't worry, I got this. Like, we just your vegetables will be the perfect bait. Of course, one of the competitors like, no, and starts running off with their vegetable. I was like, no, come back, come back. And then you start seeing the ground raised up and tunneling, and it's like, and the person starts running back towards the I'm like, yeah, yeah, and then they see the giant tunnel hill. It's like, no, go away, go away. So yeah, Victor takes aim at the hole, waiting for the perfect shot, and just as he's about to shoot, the van with Grom the van with Gromit and Hutch go by and basically lure Wallace away with that melon. But yeah, Wallace is out in the open now, chasing after the van, and yeah, Victor's trying to take aim, but he's taking too long. So one of the other people grabs the gun and takes a shot, and misses because it hits the van. And hey, there's all three bullets gone. But wait, there's that golden carrot trophy. So he plans to use that as ammo. Now, here's the thing. When I saw that, like, oh, I see what they're gonna do. It's that he'll shoot Wallace with it, but it'll turn out that it was only gold plated, and not actually 24 karat. That is not what they did, however.
I was about
Yeah,
to I was about to argue that I was about to argue that they mentioned mentioned that I was about to argue that the DK book had the same mention of
yeah,
metric measurements in comparison between the two.
yeah.
Had you not, well,
Sorry. Yeah, that's like basically Victor was, trying to use the golden carrot trophy as ammo, but Lady Tottenham's like, no, stop that. So they kind of fight a bit, and Wallace sees this, it's like, and decides to go all King Kong on this movie, and grabs her, takes her up on top of Tottenham Hall, basically where the garden is, and she figures out that the were rabbit is Wallace. Victor chases after them, and it's like basically reveals that, like, yeah, he knew the were rabbit was Wallace, and was only trying to impress Lady Toddington for her money. So yeah, well, they're up there. It goes to how should I put it? You know those hmm, amusement park rides where, like, it's in the shape of some sort of vehicle and it goes around in a circle. In this case, it's a plane, and he basically takes it, basically flies off in it, and he and Victor's dog. Yes, Victor has a dog. It wasn't exactly relevant to the plot yet, so they start having a dog fight.
I really love the reference they pulled off here. I can still remember. I can still remember back when I
That's
first watched
fun.
it. I can still remember back when I first watched this. I was like, "Hey, it's Snoopy."
But yeah, the other dog is named Philip. So Gromit basically sends Philip's plane to the ground, but yeah, so they're basically fighting in the single plane, and at one point it's like, okay, your ride is over. Need more quarters. At which point the fight stops, and Gromit tries to see if he has enough change, and Philip pulls out a coin purse, like puts the money in, and then the fight continues.
This is one of the strengths when it comes to movies by Aardman. They always have a good, a unique and good, a unique but also good sense of humor.
Yeah, I definitely felt like the humor hit better in this one. Anyway, so yeah, let's see now. Vic, not Victor. Yes, Victor. Victor and Wallace are on the top of the thing, and basically, Victor lines up his shot and takes aim and fires. But Gromit manages to get his plane right in the path of the bullet, and the plane takes the bullet. I'm saying bullet, the trophy, takes the trophy instead. And yeah, the plane is falling, and Wallace jumps and grabs Gromit, and yeah, sacrifices himself as they fall into a cheese tent. Oh, that's where Hutch is hanging out, because cheese. And Victor's like, haha, I won. But Lady Tana basically whacks him over the head with a giant carrot. Oh, sorry, the giant carrot. So yeah, to make sure that the mob doesn't kill Wallace, the Gromit actually puts Victor in the Were Rabbit costume, and the town people chase him away. And so Wallace transforms back into his human self, and looks like he's dead, but like, oh no, he's dead. But then Hutch is like cheese, and Gromit gets the idea, like, okay, wave some cheese over him, and oh hey, he's good now.
I could imagine, given the bulk of his form, he would. I can imagine, given the bulk of the form, it would have been a bit. Would have been not as rough.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lady Toddington awards Gromit the Golden Carrot and turns Toddington Hall into a habitat for Hutch and the other rabbits. And yeah, it was a good movie. However, one question: why did he transform back into normal? Like, it's never really explained. Like, yeah.
My best guess is that at the same time, his own effects started. Own effects were evapor. Own effects were evaporating out. About the same time that. Well,
Either that or why don't we just say that his love of cheese overcame the encroaching rabbit instincts or something? I don't know. Cheese did it. I know he transformed to normal before the cheese, but whatever. Yeah, that's like my only real issue with it. Like, yeah, the kind of lifted, kind of, yeah, but still, good movie.
Okay, something scientific that's a bit hard to explain, but yeah, in regards to how shit never really bothered me that much, especially given the fact that, well, he was only in this movie.
Yeah, yeah, and actually earlier it seemed like the way they were going is that Wallace was trying to put the mind machine back together, but he was getting so rabid that he couldn't remember how to do it, and one of the parts actually looked like a carrot. But it's like, oh, but hey, Hutch is getting to be more like Wallace, so he'll put the thing together. But then Victor happened, and that kind of went nowhere.
Another
Yeah,
interesting
we
note,
never really went. Oh, go ahead.
another interesting note regarding the large dress. Another interesting note. This one regards to the large dressing mech.
Yep.
One of those flashing pic, one of the flashing picture that indicate indicated the active indicated the activation was slightly edited for the DVD was slightly edited for the DVD TV spot.
But yeah, we haven't actually gone into the voice cast yet. So we have Peter Salis as Wallace. Did a good job. He's done
So
stuff.
soon will be the soon will be the fourth year since his unfortunate passing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been a staple of the. But yeah, he's been a staple of our men.
Yeah. As Gromit, we have no one. Gromit is a dog. Dogs don't speak. we have
At least this one.
we have. Okay, I've never been sure how to pronounce that name. It looks like Ralph Fiennes, but it's probably like Ralph Fiennes or something.
Yeah, I've heard it several. Yeah, I've heard it several times as fines.
Ralph Fiennes. Lord Voldemort.
This is the second DreamWorks film he was in, following Ramesses and the Ramesses and the Prince of Egypt.
Yep. And of course, accompanying, playing Lady Tuddington is Bellatrix Lestrange herself, Helena Bonham Carter.
And interestingly, I believe this was my introduction to her. Although I hadn't quite gotten the name, although I hadn't exactly gotten the name down until Doug Walker started becoming popular.
Yeah, and as Police Constable Albert McIntosh, also known as, hey, that guy who let everyone know the were-rabbit was still alive, is Peter Kay. Normally I'd make comments of like, oh, they were in this thing, but yeah, it's British, so I haven't actually watched that much British stuff. I like Monty Python, Blackadder, uh, not stuff that guy's in, just British stuff I've actually seen. Like, not that much.
Yeah, as you probably noticed, since this is yeah, as you probably noticed, Aardman is a British studio, so typically a lot of English talent, mostly.
Yeah. And it's, as Reverend Clement Hedges is Nicholas Smith. Yeah, got nothing. And
One more thing I wanted to
then
note.
there's what?
One more thing I wanted to note about Vines. He was also the Tooth Fairy from the Hannibal Lecter novel. The remake of the remake of one of the Hannibal Lecter novels.
Oh, so as so Mr. and Mrs. Mulch, some of Wallace and Gromit's clients, is Dickon Ashworth and Liz Smith. What have they done? Nope. And that's a TV thing. This is like the 80s. Like, okay, let's just skip ahead a bit. Okay, getting into the 90s. I think this is like the most extensive of filmography I've seen so far. Okay, anything that I've seen?
Huh. Two television versions of A Christmas Carol. Okay.
Not really. Then, as Mr. Growbag, um, another guy that was there is Edward Kelsey, who uh, they don't actually list anything on the wiki page, so let's go over to IMDb.
Huh. Smith would also be in the Chocolate Factory remake that also premiered the same year. She was also in. She would later go on to City of Ember.
And, okay, decent. No wonder I'm not recognizing this stuff. It's in lowering chronological order. Like, okay, haven't seen any of that stuff. And finally, as Miss Thrip, another one of their customers, and apparently reprising their role from A Matter of Love and Death is Geraldine McEwen. McEwen? Whatever.
Yes, Jodie McEwen. Somehow, surprisingly, not related in any way to. or maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person.
And once again, no roles that I really recognize.
And later this month, it'll be 6 years since her unfortunate passing.
Yeah. Fun fact: this movie was actually the last DreamWorks animation film to be released on VHS. Yeah, apparently it won the award for Best Animated Feature Film at the 78th Academy Awards. Cool.
Nice. You can see some Annie's also.
Yeah, this movie actually won a lot of awards.
But yeah, it's a bit surprised to find out that McEwen would later return for the following short.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, still a good movie, even as a Wilson Gromit fan.
It's a good movie whether you're a fan of Wallace and Gromit or not. It's just a good film for anyone.
Although I would suggest that to get some of the context of the title characters, you might want to watch the shorts.
Yeah.
Once again, top-notch animation for the fabled stop-motion studio.
So I
Col-
picked up my Pony comics. Oh, sorry.
colorful, colorful cast. Surprisingly, became one of my favorite film soundtracks once I finally figured out.
Hmm.
quite surprised this one's going to also make its way into one of my favorite climaxes. And once again, the writing works to quite a strong advantage.
Definitely.
Sounds like you finally picked up the IDWs.
Yeah, I did a comic run today. Yeah, I'm actually debating like how I want to, do the previous issues. Like, do I want to do the trade paperbacks or just collect all the individual comics and get a comic binder? I mean, with the trade, it goes on the shelf more nicely, but with the individuals, you get all the different covers. Seriously, they really need to do more of those books that just have like all the different cover variants in it. You know?
I was about to mention that I do believe one of the trades that I have includes all the cover variants.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, a bit of a reference I didn't notice until tonight.
Yeah.
The song "Bright Eyes" from Watership Down was playing on the radio.
Uh, uh,
Seems Bailey anticipated the Last of Us backlash, but not to the extent. Furthermore, she seems to recommend. Furthermore, she seems to have recommended not to spoiled yourself with the leaks.
Hmm. Ooh. So apparently the soundtracks for Persona 5, Persona 4, Persona 3, Catherine, and more of Atlas's stuff is going to be going up on Spotify. Interesting.
Seems there's anticipation for Mos Eisley to appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Hmm.
Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead to Frontline Moon Knight.
Okay.
Neil Marshall is returning to the horror genre with The Reckoning. Fisher Calls reports he's been written out of the Flash factually inaccurate.
Hmm.
Seems it's rumored that Downey Jr. could return to Disney for a future Star Wars project.
Okay.
Brie Larson's preparing to begin training as the Captain Marvel sequel seems to be gearing up.
I accidentally scrolled over to the screen while I was trying to scroll on a web page and like, okay, apparently scrolling in moves the track bar. Okay. So I don't know exactly how far forward or back I tracked, but whoops. Yeah, downside to doing the multi-screen setup is sometimes your mouse drifts over a bit.
Seems the Walking Phoenix Joker was best-selling home entertainment title in the UK last year.
Hmm.
Oscar Isaac's been confirmed for Moon Knight.
Cool.
Seems official stills for the zombie heist movie Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder, seems to have unveiled. Expect new looks for Darkseid and Steppenwolf for Justice League. Seems that Snyder wants to do something for the MCU, it would be Elektra.
Ooh. Only if they keep him on a tight leash. Like, ish.
Well, I've read it's a Frank Miller property, so match made in heaven-ish?
Oh god, Zack Snyder and Frank Miller. Oh. Ah.
Well, no confirmation that Miller would be involved, but still.
Yeah.
Years of discussions, 10 different execs through them. In regards to Jenkins and Wonder Woman, pause in the Multiverse of Madness UK filming. Elizabeth Olsen confirmed. Apparently, Imagine Ella was teasing a Roland New Line's Salem lot.
Mm.
couple more years for Hamada as DC Films president.
Okay.
Michael J. White's still open to playing Green Lantern John Stewart. Seems the original plans for Campbell to come back here. And until what happened to Heath.
Hmm.
Possibility of Grogu, Ahsoka, as well as some other Mandalorian characters coming to Disney parks. Seems Snyder's not thinking of any other DCEU films following Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Apparently, the Eternals Lego set leak was low res. Now there's a high res. Aquaman spin-off focusing on Amber Heard's Mara, which being the works for HBO Max. Huh, Keaton's returning for the DCEU.
Yeah.
You look at Arthur Curry for the Snyder Cut. Bad Boys for Life, last year's highest grossing movie. Reported introduction of Patriot for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Hmm.
Apparently, no investigation into the Whitaker rumors.
Yeah, I read about that.
Apparently, Dickinson thinks she could handle the story that the studio had in mind in regards to Dark World.
Hmm.
Greengrass confirms talks regarding X-Men versus Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
Jeff Johns to continue work with Warner and DC.
And that's the second for tonight.
Putting Life's been at McDonald's for last few days now.
Hmm.
All the way behind 4.5 is on Twitter posting concepts.
Cool.
Toy Fair delayed to May, obviously.
Hmm.
have our first full week run of passings. Junior Roberts, who was in Charlie's Angels and 70s Show. Pat Patrick of Pat Patrick Racing. Antonio Sabato Sr., apparently in a film called Grand Prix. Jim Haynes, co-founder of Traverse Theatre and International Times. Brad Venable, Devil May Cry 5 and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Neil Sheehan, 89 Pulitzer Prize winner. And comic book artist Steve Letty. Drew for The Flash at one point.
So we should probably start to wrap up for this week.
guess I should feel a bit more relaxed now that virtual Vancouver is behind me.
Yep.
Certainly glad to have seen Were Rabbit again.
What was that?
I was certainly glad to have seen Were Rabbit again.
Yeah. Well, not again for me, but it was good.
And definitely looking forward to see Arkman's computer-generated code classic next week. Until which, stay safe, stay well, and hopefully we will see you all next week.